police, military, ministries, all 29 ministries that are there, all 100 or so departments and agencies were there. The citizen cannot interface with all of me. Forward, minister, please look into this. Forward, ombudsman, please do this. My job for yesterday, a Catholic priest. I was in Tihu. I was going to church for New Year's Day. He met me. He had an issue because he didn't have subsidy for his school. It's an approved school. Okay. I gave him my number. We leave and I come. He sends me a message yesterday, follow up. I forward it to the people who are in charge. They respond that they've solved it. I don't, then that's hundreds of children who you have just solved their problems for. All I did was be the bridge between this man, as you say, a reasonable, normal citizen, who will have no way or an easy way to access the system. I take their challenge, I send it to the official solves it immediately, and I tell them, case done, case closed. So my interacting with people, my being on the media, my engagement on social media, my being on the radio, my being in the streets, is I want to understand what the average, normal citizen is feeling. Because when they tell me what they're feeling, we will solve that problem. And when His Excellency gives me a mandate in cabinet or in the economic management meeting or in the security meeting, National Security Council meeting or some subcommittee, I will solve it for the people with my colleagues. That's what I do. I think about it as you're the grease to make the machine work and to fuel the machine. So yes, I am settling the ground for government, for how government works. And I'm changing that perspective of what government is for the people and the people to the government. And that's because His Excellency has given me that mandate, that freedom, that support, and that safe environment to be my full self.
You touched on one area that seemed very relevant. That is the MBSSC, for which you were the first to serve in that capacity when it was transitioned from...
Well, there was Alpha Timbo.
Alpha Timbo. But by the way, of course, you brought in several, one will say, strategies to ensure a complete overhaul of that ministry. You just mentioned, of course, learning outcomes, which you compared to countries in Africa. It seems as if it's an additional one here also to speak. But even with that being said,
changed that draft. So why will you do that?
Just for clarity purpose, which specific document did she fake?
So I'm very lucky. I have been audited multiple times. I've been in government for 6 years, and I can hold my head proudly and walk anywhere in this country for the things that I have done, anywhere. When they come for audits, they have an inception meeting. You sit, you say, we're doing A, B, C, D, where are your people? Thank you, thank you. And then after that, they don't come to you again. They talk to your people. They can ask any questions that they want to ask. And then when they're done, they have a closing meeting, yeah? And then that closing meeting, they write a draft response, because it writes to you to say, these are what we found. They give you time to submit your response, and then you do. Sometimes you submit all, sometimes not. And then they can say it has been resolved, it has been partially resolved, it has not been resolved. That's it. And then, if it has not been resolved, it goes in there and there are recommendations being made. That report that was done by that technical team who came to do, she changed it. When the technical team came, they did their draft, they sent it to them, she independently changed it. But that's so unethical, so unprofessional, and so against the rules of audits. It's not a problem that audits go somewhere. Audits is to improve the systems and processes. And audits is to make recommendations. But it's not to witch hunt somebody. That's unethical and that's unprofessional. We did not go after her. We just followed the law. If somebody starts being unethical and unprofessional, it is the responsibility of the state to set up an investigation committee on her, which we did. How can you be working for Audit Salon and doing pro bono audits to other people, and you're the boss, and you, like, it's not pro bono, paid audit services to other people? How can you say, don't audit FCC, even Mayor Akisoya's special projects? Why? Some of these guys, when ACC found them, they paid back. ACC found that they paid back. How can you say, no, don't audit that? it's just, she's not a bad person in life. She she has and can be professional. In this instance, she was unprofessional, and it's okay that the state takes action. And the state here, government is independent. The executive did what they did, set up a commission, and the report came to His Excellency, public reports, by the way, that we all read, and we saw it. And then that report gets sent to Parliament. Parliament does what Parliament does on its own. Parliament is APC and SLPP, and APC and SLPP said she was unprofessional. That's why she was relieved. We as a state should be happy. We should thank God, thank His Excellency for democracy working. I don't know why but anyway, there's some critics, there's some opponents, and it's okay. Life, you can't have 100% of people agree on everything.
Just aid us with an update.
So the agreement for national unity, which led to the tripartite, and the tripartite was done, and we negotiated it, and 84, 86 recommendations. We're well on the way. The public service reform unit, public sector reform unit, is working with PPRC, is working with ECSL, is working with all these other institutions. Lots of recommendations are already being done. Lots of new policies will be done. The constitutional review will happen this year. Many of the issues there are hinged on constitution, so we look forward to the state and to the people supporting those transitions. And I think the APC is fully participating. We will keep working with them. I chair the meeting, the committee as per cabinet's conclusion, and we have a technical committee now. Mr. Golo Kata is leading on that. We're very happy with his experience, wealth of experience. He was one of the people who went to supervise the elections in Ghana, and we think he will do a fantastic job. Everybody's happy for him to lead on the implementation of the tripartite. So I want to congratulate him. I want to give him all our support because he's joining my team to lead on the implementation, the secretariat to lead on the implementation on this. And our objective is that we should finish it as soon as possible. 1 year is what we're giving ourselves. So 2025, we should do all the things that we need to do. The constitutional things will happen on their own. By the way, the first major thing, which is the independent review of ECSL. This is what everybody prayed for. This is what APC's major thing is. This is the first time the ECSL is being reviewed for 30 years. First time. Independent review. This government is doing that. First time in 30 years. The first draft of the report will be done this January. And by February, we should be done with that, hopefully. And it tells you that we're not here to play, we're here to deliver. Views on there. But on the rice price reduction, His Excellency decided that he's listening to his people by making sure that essential commodities are well managed. Fuel has a pricing formula. Now, the Ministry of Trade has been working for months to work with these major importers on establishing a pricing formula. So the pricing formula is not based on one instance. It includes so many different things, really high-level calculations. That's optimizing for two things. It's optimizing for, well, maybe three things. It's optimizing for predictability and affordability. So that's one, that products should be predictable, they should be affordable and accessible to citizens. And the second part of it is, it also is strengthening the private sector, making sure that there's competition in the private sector actually, that there are no single players who will shape and determine the market based on their size. And this is a good thing. A lot of people look at this and they think government just wakes up one day and does something, or government does something on their own. That's why there was a signature on the annex from every of the major, those guys who were there account for 90% of the imports. Yes, there are many others who should have been in the room who were not in the room, but we will continue to have these conversations, and Ministry of Trade will continue to engage them. When it comes to engaging people, Perhaps it's the thing with humans. Everybody thinks their view is the most important. Everybody thinks they're most sensible. But in where I sit, I listen to many people, everybody from all classes of society, and I see their views and I see their inputs, and I look at policy and we read and we consult with what's best practice. And so nobody's lying to us. We're not taking a single lie. If it's a lie, then it's a lie that the whole world is drinking, and that majority of the people are drinking, and it's informed by some data. So it can be sometimes that the world is wrong, or that best practice is wrong. But that's what we're doing. Our work is being shaped by inputs from experts, from ordinary citizens, from policymakers, from the vision of His Excellency. I think sometimes governance is easy, but it's also hard. It's hard because you have to bring everybody along slowly to your direction. When President Bill said free quality education, people didn't like it, they didn't understand it, they criticized it. And I was in the studio many, and other studios many times, engaging people about the challenges, and those challenges still remain. But it's the right thing to do for our country. And when we come up with policies, not everybody's going to agree with it today, but we're doing it because it's the right direction. It was a new direction. This is the right direction that we're in, and the data are showing that. And I have one belief that this country is going to keep moving forward, and with His Excellency at the top, and this vision, and this SLPP government, we're one country, one people. We believe in inclusion, radical inclusion. We will ensure that everybody, every part of this country can benefit from the process and policies that we do.
Who then handles the conduct of the...
Nas, I love Jay-Z, geniuses. I love Kendrick Lamar, I love Drake, geniuses. I love Drizzlick, I love LJ, I love Natasha, I love Boy, I love Kenny Ox, I love Crack Twist, I love Samza, both of them. I've worked with both of them, geniuses. Both of them are amazing. I have songs with, I have done songs with Drizzlick, I've done songs with Crack Twist, I've done songs with Samza, I've done songs with Boy, and these are songs that I'm super proud of. I think it's a false dichotomy that you have to be LJ or you're a cow. Why? LJ is a great rapper. Cow is a great rapper. I can love Cow songs and love LJ songs. There's nothing that says you have to be one or the other. And that's really what I don't understand from people. And people expect that if you post about Cow, then you can't post about LJ. If you post about Cow or LJ, then you can't post about Drizzlick. Why? Young people, we have to make sure that we avoid division. We have to make sure that we support every artist. Natasha was a counselor for APC. I love her. She's fantastic. Stasi, amazing, incredible. And she brought Queen H, I think. I love Princess H, because she's really clever. And one of her favorite lines was, "They're not smart, they're phone smart." And we see I'm plenty, but come on, not smart. They're phone smart, so they get smartphone, but they're not smart. And I love people who are clever, who play on words, and that's what I love about rap. And we have lots of people who are clever. Drizzlick is the best at using double and triple entendres. He's a genius. Country tomorrow, it's not ready to lead this country in I don't know when. The leaders in APC are unprogressive. And I can say this without a doubt, that unprogressive is not a bad thing. Unprogressive to the policies that are necessary. If you criticize free quality education, it means you're unprogressive. You don't understand what needs to happen in this country. If you criticize the way we are managing the economy now with no good idea, it means you're unprogressive. And I have many good friends in APC. They're like, it's not a personal shot at them. Those guys are good people. But as a party, APC does not have any policies. Have we seen any APC policy recently? What's the alternative policy that APC is bringing to this country? All they're doing through their newspapers is to write, oh, I saw a newspaper today that says Chief Minister audits quick corruption in the office of the Chief Minister from the audit report. You read it, there's no substance in there. There's an audit report. It's very it's there. I think they said they weren't paying taxes or withholding taxes. If you're going to put my face and my name on there, you should at least read the substance for people. So the APC as a party, when they start coming up with policies, alternate policies for how they will shape this country for our children, for our economy, then we'll listen. Then we can have a conversation. And that's why I say they are not progressive. They are not good for this country today, as President Bill said. They are not good for this country tomorrow. And we'll keep working every day to make sure that we keep them from the from State House, because they don't know the economy. They like this adigi, they shape, mo hala hala geda. That's what they do. This is why they have people in the past abuse people, more como. Unfortunately, there are really some smart people who associate because maybe their parents come from there, their friends are there, they were there before. But I invite them, if you're one of those progressive APC people, I invite you to come to SLPP. I invite you to at least form opinions and ideas. If you don't want to come to SLPP because, for whatever reason, at least step up and develop policies that will at least push us as a party and as a government, so that we can also think. For now, they are not helping us think at all.
Your party.
I see. Why now? Because we want to keep improving. We want to keep getting better. We did our last constitution in 2020. There were loopholes there. And I know, particularly because I was also the chair of the Independent Elections Monitoring committee that ran all the party's election at a really critical juncture. And we saw the challenges, and the people themselves have seen that there are challenges and bottlenecks that need to be improved. We need to make sure that we're aligned with the 30% that government has since brought, which we were, by the way, from way before our party has been that progressive. We need to ensure that there is a lot more clear lines between the moral guarantors of our party. We need to look into just certain things that will make it more democratic, tighten it up. And it's very public and transparent. It's been a really inclusive and transparent process. And thanks again, because we have a leader and a chairman of the party who believe that democracy should happen. We're practicing in our party what we want to happen in the country. And it's been a really fulfilling process so far. We're one country, one people. I think my current focus as a government official is to supporting His Excellency. And when I go to these places, I tell them I'm campaigning. I'm campaigning for President Bill's government delivery. I'm campaigning for delivery in governance. That's what I'm doing. I have been very fortunate to serve His Excellency. I said yesterday in the press conference, when I was a young boy, I had 3 dreams. One, I wanted to be an author. Thank God I'm an author, Radical Inclusion, 7 Steps Towards a More Just Society. And it's a bestseller, an award-winning book, Amazon 2023 bestseller and top books, non-fiction. And people think we take it for granted. Non-fiction, written by an African, in Africa, published by a major US publisher, paid for, does not happen. Actually, there's no evidence of that. Number 2, a major top 5 publishing house. Number 2, I wanted to be a minister of health when I was young, because my dad worked at UNICEF. I love children, and in my dream, I thought I'll be the WHO, head of WHO or head of UNICEF. I wanted to be the head of UNICEF in the world. So I wanted to be a minister of health, and but thank God I became Minister of Education, similar, and now I'm Chief Minister. So that's fantastic. And number 3, I wanted to be a professor. I've been teaching at MIT, at Harvard, and FBC for 5 years. And I'm a very grateful man in life, that by 40 I've done all the three things that I wanted to do. Those are what I was dreaming for. And the final one is being an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I'll continue to be an entrepreneur. But there's nothing that comes close to serving your people. Every day that I sit on the boat and I go to Bonds, I go up to Falaba, I sit on the bike. In my capacity as chief minister, I listen to people, I solve their problems, they listen to me, they give me feedback, we engage. There's nothing that comes close to solving their problems, and I love it. And I'm grateful that President Bio has given me that freedom to be able to do just that.
Do you wish to succeed your mentor?
It's not a conversation we're having right now.
Okay.
And I'm happy you said President Bio is my mentor. There's nobody who works as hard as President Bio.
Because I've heard you said same. That's why I said.
Yeah, he's an amazing man. I'm so grateful. I learn from him every day. Every day I sit in front of him, I have notepads. Every day. And I'm not exaggerating. But it's the conversations we're having right now is how we make bold actions. In his New Year's message, he said we should make bold actions, take bold actions and bold decisions. And it's like fire under me because this is what I love. I love bold, I love action. So he's saying exactly what he wants us to be doing, and we're excited about it. That's why the first bold action we did this year was to reduce the price of rice. Bold. People thought it was impossible. People thought it will never happen. But he believed it, he told us, and we did it. It was months of technical work, came to hours of negotiation, and great relationship between the private sector and government, all the players in there. That's my role. I coordinate across. Bold action number one, for the people of this country, for the average guy, bread and butter issues, rice cup issues, we reduce the price of rice, thanks to President Bio. So we're very happy that he challenged us on that, and he's given us a vision and directive. It came from no one. Let nobody take credit for it but the president, because the president is the one who listens to the people. He's been everywhere. He understands what rice is important. This is why Feed Salon. This is why he asked us to do the essential commodities thing. So it's not anybody. He just gave me the freedom to coordinate it. So yeah, what I am is I'm excited to keep learning from him. I'm excited to keep working for him. I'm excited to keep working with him because I know it's for the people of this country. So in any capacity that God allows me to keep serving, I will serve happily.